Okay, good evening, viewers. This is Vyashni from JUJU International Preschool. So, this is a second free online class for you, online video. That is the video about your handwriting exercises and patterns. So, the last video we have been seeing about the introduction to handwriting, and also we saw a glance about the exercises, patterns, and also the alphabets. So, today we will go in the detailed section of exercises. So, what are the exercises we will be doing before doing handwriting? Okay, so what is the importance of handwriting? So, everything we'll be seeing in this session. So, this session is very much useful. So we can go with exercises. So what is first thing is, what is the importance of phonics? The one thing I have to tell is, before starting the session, first I like to give an importance about our handwriting. Okay, so what is the importance of handwriting exercise is nothing but what are the improvements we can get by doing these exercises, what are the enhancement we can get by doing these exercises. Okay, the first one I'll go with, it improves the grip of holding pencil and pen. Okay, the other session we discussed that. So whenever you're doing these exercises before writing, it helps for your grip in your holding pen and pencil. So first thing is, you should have a comfortable tool in which it helps for your better writing. So first one is, it improves your grip of holding pen and pencil. The next one is, it gives power to hands and also avoids shivering of hands. So when a kid is writing, if his or her hand is shivering, so she is unable to write in a proper way. Okay, she cannot bring out with a good look. Okay, so to power up your hands, it for also the avoidance of shivering hands, these exercises helps us. Okay, next one is, it strengthens your hands. Okay, so it strengthens your hands. So whenever we are doing our work, we need to get a proper strength for doing it. Okay, likewise, while for writing, we need a strength to our hands and fingers. So these exercises mainly help to give strength to your hands. Okay, the next one is, it enables fast writing. So by doing all these exercises, you can write very fast and in a good way. Okay, so next, the last one is, it improves neat handwriting. So the main thing why we are learning handwriting is mainly to bring out with a neat and good presentation. Okay, so that is what it improves neat handwriting. Okay, now we'll go up with the exercises. So there are certain exercises which improves your handwriting. So we'll be having about 10 exercises. I'll be going with the first one. So, exercises number one is that, touch each finger ends. Okay, the first exercise is that you have to touch each finger ends. Okay, so with the help of your thumb, you have to touch each finger ends. Okay, so this is the way you have to do this exercise. The first one is, touch each finger ends. So this is for proper and better grip strength. So this exercises helps in better grip strength. Okay, so the next exercise, this is the first one. So the next exercise is, for the second exercise, you have to take a rubber band, a normal rubber band. Okay, with this rubber band, we are going to do the second one. The second exercise is that, rubber band stretch. The second exercise is that, rubber band stretch. Just you have to wear it in your hand. Okay, you have to extend it. Okay, you have to extend. So this is the way you have to extend. So extend, close, extend, close. So this rubber band should not exceed your knuckles. Okay, so it should not exceed this. So you have to concentrate both on your fingers and rubber band. Okay, so this helps for your finger extension. So all the exercises we are learning, you have to repeat it for maximum 5 times. Okay, so if you're repeating it for 5 times, it will be very easier for you. Okay, this is your second exercise, rubber band stretch. So next we'll go on with the third exercise. Okay, the third one is that open and close fist. So the third one is that open and close fist. Okay, this is the way you have to do. Open, close. So open, close, open, close. So this is the way you have to do this exercise. This is exercise 3, that is open and close fist. So it helps for speedy and painless writing. So whenever you're writing for a too long time, so you get a pain while you're writing. So in that time you can use this exercise. Okay, by using this you get a relaxation to continue your work. Okay, so this third exercise, this open and close fist, helps for speedy and painless writing. Okay, next one is your fourth one. Fourth one is nothing but crush paper to ball. So you have to take a paper. So for the third exercise, you have to take a paper. You have to crush the paper to a ball. So you have to use all your fingers. Okay, all your fingers has to be in motion. So you have to crush the paper to balls. So this helps in the improvement of your fine motor skills. Okay, so this exercise helps in fine motor skills. Okay, so this is a fourth exercise, crush paper to balls. Okay, next we'll be going on with the fifth exercise. For the fifth exercise also you need paper. So you have to take a paper. Okay, you have to crush this paper with the help of 3 fingers. The 3 fingers is nothing but your thumb, index finger and middle finger. Okay, your thumb finger, index finger and your middle finger. With the help of these 3 fingers you are going to crush the paper into balls. Okay, these 2 fingers has to be tucked in, other 3 fingers has to be in motion, in which you can make small ball with it. Okay, so this exercise helps to enhance your grip and write. So whenever you are writing, so for your writing tool, it helps for grip and writing. Okay, so you have to crush this paper into a small ball. With the help of these 3 fingers you have to do, other 2 fingers has to be tucked in. Okay, so with the help of these 3 fingers you have to make a small ball. Okay, so this exercise helps to enhance grip and write. So this is your fifth exercise. Next we'll go on with sixth one. Okay, sixth one is nothing but fold and stretch fingers. So you have to fold your 4 fingers and then your thumb. So relax, fold, okay, stretch, fold and then you have to stretch, fold and then you have to stretch. Okay, so it improves blood circulation. So this exercise helps in the improvement of your blood circulation. Okay, so this is a fold and stretch fingers. This is your sixth exercise. Okay, so now we are moving on to the seventh one. So seventh one is nothing but 4 finger close. So your thumb will be stretched out. So the 4 fingers close. Okay, open, close. So every exercise what I am telling is you have to repeat it for 5 times. You will get a good result. Okay, so you have to stretch your thumb and close only your 4 fingers. Okay, so this is the way you have to do the exercise 7. So it is for boosting your memory and grip. This 7th exercise is for boosting your memory and grip. Okay, now we are moving on to the 8th exercise. 8th is nothing but interlace fingers. So this is interlace fingers. Okay, so with the help of 2 hands you have to interlace all your fingers. Okay, relax. So again, interlace, relax, interlace, relax, interlace, relax. So this is the way you have to do the exercise 8. This is for better grip. It also enhances your grip of the writing tool. This is the your interlace fingers exercise. Okay, next is your exercise 9. Exercise 9 is nothing but tip to tip. Okay, exercise 9 is nothing but tip to tip. You have to touch each tip of the finger. Okay, so you have to do like this. Okay, in, out. So in, out, in, out. So by doing this exercise, by touching the tip of all your fingers, it helps in strengthening fingers. Okay, so this exercise helps in strengthening your fingers. This is your 9th exercise. Okay, next we'll go on with 10th exercise. 10th exercise is nothing but finger pull. So you have to pull your fingers in your opposite direction. Okay, so you have to pull it like this. Okay, this is the way you have to do this finger pull exercise. So this exercise gives stability for your hand. Okay, this finger pull exercise gives stability for your hands. Okay, so far we have seen 10 exercises. I'll give a recall of all those exercises. The first one is your touch each finger ends. Exercise 1 is nothing but touch each finger ends. Okay, so it is for better grip strength. Next is your rubber band stretch. Okay, next is your rubber band stretch. This is the way you have to do the second one. It is for finger extension. Okay, next I'll go with exercise 3. That is nothing but open and close fist. So this exercise is for speedy and painless writing. Next is the fourth one. Fourth one is the crushing paper into balls. So it improves fine motor skills. Okay, this crushing paper to balls improves fine motor skills. Next is the fifth one, that is the small ball with 3 fingers. So with the help of these 3 fingers, you have to make it a small ball, so it enhances grip and write. The other 2 fingers has to be tucked in. Only these 3 fingers has to be in motion, that it has to make as a small ball. Okay, this is your fifth one. Next is your sixth exercise, fold and stretch fingers. Okay, you have to fold and then you have to stretch. Fold, you have to stretch. So this exercise improves blood circulation. Next is your seventh exercise. Seventh exercise is nothing but 4 finger close. So your thumb has to be stretched out and this 4 fingers has to be closed. So this exercise is to boost memory and grip. Okay, this is your 7th exercise. Next is your 8th one. 8th one is nothing but interlace fingers. Okay, so this is the way you have to use both your hands just to interlace it. Relax. Okay, so interlace, relax, interlace, relax, interlace, relax. So this is to enhance grip. Next is your 9th exercise. 9th exercise is nothing but touching tip to tip. Okay, this is the way you have to do. So in, out, in, out. So this strengthens your fingers. This is your 9th exercise. Next is your 10th one, finger pull. So this is the way you have to do the 10th one. So it helps for giving stability to your fingers and hand. So far we have seen 10 exercises which are very important for handwriting. Okay, so after finishing exercises, normally a kid will go for the next way of writing, how she will be introduced the patterns. Okay, so there is several methods. The main method is that tracing. We can use many sensory methods. Okay, so we'll be using many sensory methods also for this pattern tracing. Okay, so first pattern we will be going with standing line. Okay, so first pattern will be going with standing line. Okay, so standing line, if we are introducing to a kid, he should be having a complete schedule of what he is going to learn. Okay, so if we are introducing a new thing to you, we can make a kid to do and learn in different ways. Okay, starting itself we cannot give a note or book to make a kid to write. So starting we have to introduce tracing method, we can give them sensory methods. So what are the ways we can do it, we can see in this session. Okay, so we'll be giving a wooden pencil for them, a wooden board in which this pattern is known as standing line. Okay, the first pattern we are going to see is that standing line. Okay, we'll be giving this wooden pencil, we'll be telling the kid to start from up. Okay, so first they are going to trace the first standing line. Okay, they have to start only from up to down. Okay, you could have, you will be seeing an arrow mark here, that is nothing but you have to start from up and you have to move down. Okay, so this is the way you have to write standing line. So a kit is first introduced in tracing the pattern. So this is the way he has to trace the pattern. So this is a board we will be giving. So in note also we will be drawing a dotted lines in which the kid will be tracing on the dotted lines. Okay, so he will come to a clear cut idea that the standing line will be coming starting from up and comes down. So this is the way you have to write standing line. Okay, so this pattern is a standing line. Okay, next one is the second pattern. First we have seen standing line. Okay, the same thing what we can use is it a sand tray. Okay, you can give a tray with sand, it is a sensory method for a kid. Okay, so you can give a sand tray for a kid. After he's finished tracing, you can give him a sand tray to trace the standing line on it. Okay, so you can give a sand tray for a kid to trace standing line on it. Okay, so he will be very clear in that the standing line starts from up and moves down. Okay, this is the way he'll be doing the standing line. Okay, this is the sensory method of teaching a kid to draw the patterns. So next pattern, first one is standing line, next pattern is that sleeping line. Okay, sleeping line. So the sleeping line also will be having a board for them, so they will be started doing this sleeping line board. Okay, for sleeping line you have to start from your left, so a kid has to start from his left. Okay, so he'll be taking his wooden pencil, start from his left and move to his right. So when drawing a sleeping line, he has to start from his left side and move to his right side. So this is the way he will be tracing the sleeping line. So he will be starting from the left and moving to his right. Okay, start from the left and move to your right. Okay, so this is the sleeping line pattern. So before making them to write, we'll be using the sensory method, tracing board, and also giving dotted lines for them to write the sleeping line. So they have to start from the left and move to their right. So this is the way he'll be writing sleeping line. Okay, this is a sleeping line. Okay, so okay, next after standing and sleeping, they'll be moving on to left slanting and right slanting line. Okay, so we'll be giving the sensory method of learning, that is you have to draw a sleeping line from left to right. Okay, from left to right. So a kid has to move from left to right. So this is the way they will be doing in a sensory way. Okay, so far we have seen standing line and sleeping line. Okay, we have seen standing line and sleeping line. So we can see how they will be doing it in a board. So we will be giving this type of dotted lines to them. See, if I take as sleeping line, they will be drawing sleeping line from left to right. Okay, so they will be drawing lines from left to right. So I'll be giving a chalk to them. It is also a mini blackboard, so they can be tracing lines from left to right. This is your sleeping line pattern. Okay, next we'll be going with the other pattern. Okay, so I have taught you standing and sleeping line. Okay, so if we are making the kid to learn in different ways, it will be very easy for them. So we can give a card like this for them so that they can touch and feel. We can make the kid to close their eyes and touch and feel what pattern is this. We can make them to identify what pattern is this. Okay, this is standing line. Okay, we can make them to trace with two fingers and find what pattern is this. Okay, this is the standing line pattern. Okay, next is your sleeping line pattern. Your sleeping line pattern, you can make your kid close your eyes and then you can make them to feel, touch and feel what line is then, and let them identify it. Okay, so this is sleeping line. Okay, so standing line and sleeping line. Next is your right slanting line. Right slanting line is nothing but the line which is slanted towards your right. So towards your right side, that is called as right slanting line. So right slanting line, how we have to draw is that it slants towards your right. Okay, this is your right slanting line. Next is your left slanting line. So the left slanting line slants towards your left. This is your left slanting line. Next we'll go with curves. Okay, so normally I'm giving a glance of these, so I'll be showing it by writing it in a 4 lines note. Okay, next is your left curve. So the curve which you can keep in your left hand is your left curve, that is the letter C. So it comes in as a left curve. Okay, this is the way you have to write left curve. Next is your right curve, the curve which you can keep in your right hand, that is called as right curve. So for B, you will be using this B, P and all, you will be using right curve. Okay, so we have seen standing line, you have seen standing line, sleeping line, right slanting line, and then left slanting line. Okay, next we'll be seeing left curve and right curve. Okay, this is your left curve and this is your right curve. The curve which you can keep with your left hand is your left curve. The curve which you can keep with your right curve is called as right curve. Okay, so first we'll be going with standing line. Okay, so normally we say there are several strokes are there. Okay, so as I showed you that right slanting, left slanting, curves and all, normally we say it as basic strokes for ABC. Okay, these are the basic strokes for ABC, that is sticks. What I told you is the standing line and sleeping line or sticks. Okay, the slanting line what I showed you, that is the right slanting and left slanting, those are right slanting and left slanting are slides. Okay, next is caves, what the curves I taught you, the right curve and your left curve. So right curve and left curve are caves. So these are named as caves. Okay. Next is your U curve. The U and your inverted U is humps and bumps. Okay. So these are the main basic strokes for writing ABC. The first one is your sticks, your standing line and your sleeping line. Okay. Next is your slides. Slides is nothing but right slanting line and left slanting line. Okay. Next is your caves, that is right curve and your left curve. Next is your humps. Humps is nothing but in the font of U. So U shaped curves are called as humps. Okay. Next is your bumps. Bumps is nothing but they are inverted U. So these are the normal basic strokes for ABC. Okay. So I'll tell you how to write these lines. So first I'll go with standing line. Okay. So when we are introducing 4 lines note to a kid, we'll be introducing that first pink line is nothing but the headline. Okay. Next, the 2 black lines or body line. Then the last pink line will be your leg line. First one is head. Okay. The next 2 lines are body. The last pink line is leg. Okay. Head, body, leg. So first pink line is headline. Okay. The next 2 black lines or body lines. Then the fourth pink line is leg line. So I am giving this explanation for 4 lines note. Okay. Okay. So head, body and then leg line. Okay. You will be having 2 pink lines and 2 black lines. The first pink line is headline. Okay. Next the 2 black lines are body lines. Then the fourth pink line is leg line. Okay. So now we are going to see how to write standing line. So whenever you write, you have to keep your note a little bit left slant. So this is, if your left hand you're keeping it here, you have to keep it little bit slant. Okay. So you have to keep your hand nearby your note, your left hand. So it will give some support for writing. Okay. Now I'm going to write sleeping line. Okay. So now I'll go with, first we'll be seeing standing and then sleeping. Okay. Now I'm going with standing line. So I'm going to tell you what is the way to write standing line. Okay. First we'll be going on with standing line. So I'll be telling how to write. So the way, first what we'll give the child is, we'll be giving dotted lines so as they'll be tracing it. So first way is we'll be giving dotted lines for them to trace. So the kids will be very familiar with the line. Okay. If they start tracing on it, so they will be tracing on the dotted lines. Okay. So we'll be giving dotted lines for them. So they will be tracing on the dotted line. So the way we have to write standing line is that you have to start from the first pink line, end the second black line. So we will be keeping dots. So first dot will be on the first pink line, second dot will be on the second body line. Okay. You have to join both. So this is the way you have to write standing line. Okay. So we'll be keeping 2 dots and giving in the starting. You have to join both dots. Okay. So this is the way we'll be writing standing line. Okay. So standing line is the way you have to start from the first pink line, come down to the second black body line. Okay. So again I'll show you. You have to start from the first pink line, come down to the second black line. First pink line, come down to the second black line. First pink line, come down to the second black line. So this is the way you have to write standing line. Okay. So standing line also has 2 methods. The one is it touches three lines, the another one is it touches only two lines. Okay, this is method 1, and the method 2 is that in between these two lines. Okay, so in between these two lines. Okay, this is the way you have to write standing line. Okay, so next we'll go with sleeping line. Okay, so next we'll go with sleeping line. We have seen standing line. Now we are moving to sleeping line. Okay, so for sleeping line also you have to use the body line, only the body line. It does not touch the head and leg lines. Okay, so it should touch only the body line. So this is the way you have to write. Keep two dots, you have to move from left to right. So 1 2, so left to right. So this is the way you have to do it. Okay, this is the way you will be writing sleeping line. Okay, so if we are keeping dotted lines in the first black line, you have to write on the first black line. Okay, so this is the way we'll be writing sleeping line. Okay, so we have seen two patterns, one is standing line, the another one is sleeping line. Okay, so now we'll be seeing the slanting line, a right slanting line and right slanting line, right slanting line. Okay, so right slanting, already I told you, you have to draw the slanting line towards your right. Okay, it also touches three lines like standing line. This is a right slanting line. Okay, this is your right slanting line. So this is the way you have to write right slanting line. So you have to start from the pink line, come down to the second black line. Start from the pink line, come down to the second black line. Start from the pink line, come down to the second black line. So this is the way you have to write right slanting. Next we'll move on with left slanting line. Okay, next is your left slanting line. Next is your left slanting line. So the line which is slanted towards your left is called as left slanting line. It also touches three lines, your head line, body line. Okay, both the body line. So up to down. So this is your left slanting line. Okay, this is the way you have to write left slanting line. For this also we will be giving tracing for kids and also the other sensory methods and boards for doing all these. So we have so far seen standing line, sleeping line, right slanting line and left slanting line. Okay, so far we have seen these patterns, that is standing line, sleeping line, right slanting line and your left slanting line. Okay, next we'll be going on with curves. Okay, already I told you left curve and right curve. So left curve we'll be seeing. So the board for left curve, so how you have to do is you have to start from left curve is nothing but C. How we will be writing the pattern C, letter C. This pattern also comes under that letter. Okay, so C is nothing but left curve. You have to start from up, draw a curve. Okay, up you have to draw a curve. So left side. Okay, the C you have to draw this curve to your left. Okay, this is your left curve. So by using this board, kids will be very much familiar with this pattern, so they can easily identify, and also it will be very easier for them to learn. Okay, this is your left curve. Okay, this is your left curve. So you can also give sand tray for them. Okay, so you can give a floor tray for them in which they can easily trace and do it. Okay, this is your left curve and your right curve. Okay, your left and right curve. Already I've told you, this is also a method in which we can make a kid blindfold, touch and feel what curve is that. By doing these activities, they will be very much easier to differentiate the types of curves. Okay, so curves, already I told you, left curve and right curve, we name it as caves. So for differentiating, we can give exercises like this. Okay, so now we'll start writing left curve and right curve. Okay, so I'm going to start write left curve and right curve. Now I'm going to write left curve. Okay, left curve is nothing but it turns towards your left. Okay, so when you're keeping left curve in your hand, you will be keeping like this. Okay, this is your left curve, that is C. This is your left curve. While writing left curve, your spacing between these two lines should be equal. Okay, this is your left curve. So one should be small and another should be, it should not be bigger. So all should be in equal size and both the spacing should be equal. So the upper and the lower line should be in equal spacing. So this is the way you have to write left curve. Okay, so this is the way we'll be writing left curve. Next we'll be writing right curve. Next, right curve. So we have seen left curve. Now we are going to write right curve. Okay, so right curve is nothing but you are keeping curve with your right hand. Okay, so you have to start from the pink line, come down to the second black line. Pink line, come down to the second black line. Pink line, then come down to the second black line. Pink line, come down to the second black line. So this is the way you have to write right curve. So again I'm writing, this is the right curve. You have to start from the pink line. You have to start from the pink line, come down to the second black line. Pink line, come down to the second black line. So this is the way you have to write right curve. Okay, next is your up curve. Okay, next is your up curve. Up curve is nothing but U pattern. Okay, up curve is nothing but, already I told you, it is U pattern. It also has to touch the headline and the body lines. Okay, you have to start from the pink line, come down to the second body line and then bend, go up. Okay, this is the way you have to write up curve, that is your U pattern. Okay, next is your down curve. Next is your down curve. Down curve is nothing but your inverted V. Down curve is nothing but your inverted U. Okay, this is the way you have to write down curve. You have to start from the second black line. But for up curve, you will be starting with the pink line. But for down curve, we will be starting from the second black line, go up, give a bend and then come down. So this is the way we'll be writing down curve. So this is the down curve. So far we have seen 4 curves. One is left curve, another one is right curve, next is your up curve, and then your down curve. Okay, next is your loop pattern. So after finishing all these basic patterns, we'll be moving on to the next one, that is your loop pattern. After these, we'll be having O pattern, S pattern. So loop pattern is nothing but very easy. You have to give loops. Okay, loops like strings. Okay, I'll be writing loop pattern. You have to start from the pink line, come down, bend it. So this is the way you have to write loop pattern. Okay, this is the way you have to write loop pattern. Okay, next I'll go with O pattern. So O pattern also you have two methods. Okay, one is clockwise. Okay, one is clockwise. Okay, so the second one is anti-clockwise. So you have two methods. One is clockwise, the other one is anti-clockwise. Clockwise is nothing but you have to draw this O, write this O in a clockwise direction. You have to start from the pink, move to your towards your right side, and then bring it up. You have to join. So this is the way you have to write clockwise O. Okay, so this is the way you have to write clockwise O. Next is your anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise is nothing but the opposite direction of the clockwise. So opposite direction in the sense you have to start from the pink line. You have to draw a left curve and then right curve. You have to join. So this is your anti-clockwise O. Okay. So in O we have two pattern, that is clockwise and then is anti-clockwise. So we have two methods in writing O pattern. Okay. Next is your S pattern. Next is your S pattern. Okay, in S pattern also you have two methods, that is one is small and the one is big one. So first we'll go with the big one. It start from first pink line, bend it, come down to the second one and end. Okay, you have to start from the pink line and then end in second black line. Pink line, second black line, pink line, second black line. So this is the way you have to do the pattern S first method. Then the second one is nothing but the small one in between these two lines. Okay, in between these two lines your bend has to be perfect. So you have to start between these two body lines, first body line and the second body line. Okay, this is the way you have to write small S. So S we have two patterns, one is the bigger one, the other one is smaller one. The first one is you have to touch all the three lines, first pink line and the two black line, but your smaller pattern comes only between these two black lines. Okay, the next one is your wave pattern. Next one is your wave pattern. So all these patterns will be very helpful for your writing alphabets. Okay, next one is your wave pattern. Wave pattern is nothing but you have to draw like waves. So this is the way you have to write wave pattern. Okay, all these strokes and patterns will be very helpful for the kid for right. Actually these patterns and strokes are the pre-writing skills of a kid, so he can easily come up with cursive letters. Okay, this is the wave pattern. Wave pattern can also be written in two methods. One is it touches three lines, the second one is the two small lines. Okay, So these all bends and humps should be in equal spacing. So this is your wave pattern. Okay, so far we have seen standing line, sleeping line, right slanting line, left slanting line, right curve, left curve, up curve, down curve, loop pattern, O pattern, S pattern, and wave pattern. Okay, so far we have seen these patterns and all. So these patterns you have to practice it in a different ways. Okay, so practicing it for many times helps for you to write patterns perfectly. Okay, so next is we'll be giving this type of pattern board in which the kid will trace it on it. It will be very much easier for them to be familiar with this. Okay, we'll be giving a chalk for them, so they will be tracing. Oh, this is also an loop pattern. Okay, this is your L pattern. Okay, this is your wave pattern. So all these using this type of dot or lights and all, it will be very helpful for them to trace and write. Okay, this is your continuous V. Okay, so these are the several ways in which we can make the kid to trace and write the patterns. Okay, next is you will be having continuous U. Okay, this is the way he will be tracing U. Okay, next is your tail pattern. Okay, so this is the way he will be tracing the tail pattern. Next is your continuous C pattern. So C letter, so he will be having a connector. Already I told you. So this is a connector in which after a letter ends, it joins the another letter. Okay, so this is a continuous C pattern. Continuous C pattern. Next is your wave pattern. Okay, next is your wave pattern. Next is your humps. So by writing these patterns and strokes continuously, it will be very much helpful for the kid to write it in the note. Okay, so that is the way we'll be using for the kid for tracing and writing. So it will be very easier for them to write on the note. Okay, so far we have seen many exercises, maximum of 10 exercises, and then we have moved on to writing curves. Okay, next is we finished wave pattern. Now we'll be going with the another one. Okay, after wave pattern I'll be writing U continuous U pattern. Okay, so U pattern is nothing but the small lowercase u, you are going to write it continuously. Okay, to write U pattern, you should not take your pen while you're writing. You have to give a connector. Okay, so this is the way you have to write U pattern. Next is your N pattern. Next is your N pattern. So N pattern is nothing but you have to join this N. Okay, so continuously you have to join N. This is your N pattern. Okay, this is the way you have to write N pattern. Next is your L pattern. These patterns and all you will be writing continuously for 2 to 3 times. That is, this is your L pattern. L pattern is little bit similar to your loop pattern. Okay, this is your L pattern. Okay, next one is we'll be going with B pattern, small b. Okay, I'll be writing the cursive B. We'll be writing in that way. That is, you have to write continuously. Okay, small b. This is the way you have to write this font. Okay, small b pattern. Next is your F pattern. F is another thing I have to say is that F is a special letter in which the small f connects all the lines. It is the letter in which it connects all the letters. Now it is an F pattern. So you have to continuously write F. Okay, it has to join all the 4 lines. This is your F pattern. Okay. Okay, this is your F patterns. Okay, now we are moving on to the next one is your inverted V pattern. That is nothing but you have to draw like this. Okay, so inverted V pattern, first 3 lines. Okay, your spacing has to be equal. So this is your inverted V pattern. This is the way you have to write the inverted V pattern. So far I have shown you U pattern, N pattern, L pattern, B, F, and then inverted V pattern. Okay, so these are the patterns which comes continuously, in which it helps in cursive. Okay, so these are the patterns we have seen today. So the next one is, I'll be showing. So a kid after learning all these patterns, he'll be moving on to write alphabets. Okay. So already I told you strokes for fluent and attractive cursive handwriting, that is oval, slant, connector, underturn and overturn. What we learned before, that is oval, in which letters we use is A, O, C. Then slant, this slanting letters, for which letters we use a slanting lines. Connector is nothing but it will touch 2 letters, sorry, join 2 letters. Okay, so if we have to join, see, for a word we have to join letters to write a word, right? So with the help of connectors we can join 2 letters. Okay, 2 or more. Next is underturn. Underturn is nothing but the U pattern. Next is the overturn nothing but your inverted U. Okay, so these are the normal strokes which are helpful for fluent and attractive handwriting. Okay, so today we have seen the importance of exercises and all the patterns. I have shown you basic ones and also the one which are very helpful for handwriting. So we are offering you online and offline handwriting classes. So by this I'll end up this session. So meet you up in the next live class. Okay, so for more details contact to the number below. So kindly have a look over and join the course of handwriting. It is very much useful. So thank you so much. So I'll be meeting you in the next class. Thank you.